Hello there, all you good YouTubers. You'll have to excuse me. This is my first YouTube video with face on cam. So if I seem a bit quirky or whatever, that's why. But there's a few issues that I thought I'd come on camera to say to, you YouTubers, in concern to a current ongoing feud that's happening here between drivers and bikes, or cyclists as otherwise known. A lot of car drivers believe that cyclists should not be on the road, full stop. They should not be allowed, to ride on the road. One of the main arguments that I've seen quite a lot on YouTube videos is that cyclists don't pay road tax, so they don't have the right to be on the road. Now, these drivers who say this need to come up to speed, I think, in today's modern day. That was the rules of the medieval car tax. We're talking back sort of 1630s time, very long time ago. Something that I think really we're out. We've sort of become a little bit more sophisticated than that now. So to clear up this area of what you actually pay your car tax for, we shall basically understand what you pay your car tax for. And it used to be a few years ago, about 10-15 years ago, it used to be that you paid your car tax for the repair of the road. Due to the size and power of your vehicle, you could destroy the road because of the back traction, the back wheels, whatever. The engine used to damage the road, which it does do. The bigger the engine, the more force, more destructive your car would be to the tarmac. So you used to pay your road tax to repair that road. Now that was pretty much the rules and regulations which was put in place round about sort of 1930s, 1940s, about World War II time. And it's been the same as that until about 10-15 years ago, when they changed the rules again. And now your road tax is calculated via your CO2 emissions. So the more CO2 or the more fuel you burn, obviously petrol and diesel have different emission ratings. So again, you fall into different band categories depending on which fuel you burn. Even if you burn a dual fuel like a petrol gas powered car, again you fall into a different type category of car, which comes down to a different band. So the less CO2 emissions you emit, the less your road tax. It's as simple as plain cut as that. If you produce less than 100 units per kilogram, or units of CO2 per kilogram, you don't pay any car tax. If it's less than 100. If it's over 100, like for 100, and I think it's 100, it starts about 100, 115, something like that, then you pay, I think it's £35, that's the starting whatever, which is pretty much what motorcycles, whatever that hit that category do. If not, then you don't pay anything. If it's less than that 100, it's more efficient. So basically, buy the most efficient, least burning fuel vehicle that you could possibly buy. The thing is, with cycles or push bikes, they don't produce any emissions, and the CO2 that you breathe out from your body per kilogram is well below, it doesn't even scratch anywhere near 100 or whatever. So you are not going to basically come into that category of bicycles paying road tax. The idea of the government changing the rule to that was to get people to buy more economical, less polluting cars. smaller cars, more efficient burning cars, etc, 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 like smart cars and things like this, which is why I think the smart card is below 100, and therefore it's actually, you don't pay any road tax on it. Whatever, it's something I'm not too sure about, don't quote me on, because I don't know the emission rating of you know, how much per kilogram that it gives out. But either way, that is today's day of road tax. So when people shout out, you know, cyclists don't deserve to be on the road because they don't pay any road tax, that's rubbish, because that's not what the law or what the government taxing people on for road tax in today's day. Way back in the 1630s, that used to be the case. Not anymore. So let's all come up to date and start living as civilized human beings nowadays, because we've left the caves and we've had the Industrial Revolution in the middle. So I think it's time we moved on. Coming on to some other sort of issues on cycle tracks. People have this, especially drivers, seem to think that if there's a cycle track there, cyclists are obligated and mandatorily have to use these cycle tracks by law because they're there. Why would they make cycle tracks otherwise? Yeah, they made cycle tracks. Great. There is no law to say that cyclists must use these cycle tracks. It's an option and could be safer for the cyclist to use the cycle tracks, but he doesn't have to. That is, the cycle track is just there for the cyclist's convenience, if you wish to put it like that. So you don't have to use the cycle track if you don't want to use the cycle track. A cyclist can basically ride his bike anywhere between the curb and the centre of the road, provided it's safe. Obviously this cyclist has to have certain courtesy on the road, and he's been an absolute selfish, ignorant prick, which no doubt I can say that there are some cyclists out there that do that, but please don't tar every cyclist with the same brush, because it's not fair that to put every cyclist in that category. So you know, these cyclists basically can ride anywhere from that, and obviously it's courtesy. I mean, personally, when I cycle as a cyclist, remember I'm a motorcyclist as well as I am a driver, and I do hold a full license. I do have a lot of courtesy, and I do not sit in the centre of the road. I mean, when there is parked cars on the side of the road, there is an obligation to the driver, and the driver basically has to be aware that, oh crikey, there is a cyclist there, and he should be able to see ahead of him to realise that, oh, you know, and the cyclist indicates appropriately, and the driver has to slow down and obviously not overtake, because he would have to cross the centre of the road and go into the oncoming traffic lane to overtake the cyclist, which is of course hazardous and is unsafe to overtake. So therefore you've got to, basically a driver has to slow down, you know, beyond the cyclist until it is then safe to overtake, which is when the cyclist clears the parked cars, at which point, as I say, it could possibly well be safe for the drive of the car to overtake the cyclists, leaving at least a good 3 foot of clearance between the car and the cyclists, which is safe driving, basically, and that is the law. There is no other way of looking at it. That is the rules of the roads here in the UK, whether you like it or not, and that includes England, Wales, Scotland, and Ireland. Well, we say Ireland because, as I say, I mean, the north of Ireland. But it is pretty much the rules. So I hope that clears up a few. I'm running close to the 10-minute sort of boundary of YouTube. So I shall leave you to it, and there's a couple more issues, so look out for part 2. Anyway, thanks a lot for listening, good YouTubers, and speak to you soon. Thank you.